I got a haircut this weekend.
Oh, I can't even tell. Did they add hair?
Just this like black dude with dreads and just smells of weed. And he's like, all right, dude, what do you want from your haircut?
And you hit him with, what do you want from me?
He's like, what do you normally like? What's the number you cut your hair? I'm like, I don't know. Like, just bring it back like 3 weeks. And he's like, I don't know what that is. He's like getting upset. He literally asked me, he's like, have you ever gotten your haircut before? And I'm like, I'm like, dude, this is how you treat a new client.
The reason I wrote down this thread was because of the power of influence. I'm listening to Elon Musk on the Joe Rogan pod, the Halloween episode. 2.5 hours in, Joe just offhandedly is like, hey, dude.
Have you ever been to Sushi by Scratch?
It was a micro insertion. Joe's like, there's one in Texas, there's one in Chicago. So I was like, it's time for an omakase sushi. Well, I found it.
No, dude.
Oh, welcome to the Smart Nonsense podcast, where we talk about smart nonsense of all shapes, sizes, types, flavors, whatever you want. It can be whatever you want. Yeah, wipe
Dude,
those boogies right off your face.
You want to know my pet peeve?
I would love
when people, for some reason, think it's okay to sneeze into their hands. Not okay.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Never been. You know
It's
what?
not.
I don't even think sneezing into the crook of your arm's okay. I just sneeze out in the open. Let the wind take it.
Well, you told me once that in public you will fake a sneeze into the crook of your arm and just let loose under so that it's not all over your
Oh
sleeve.
my God, dude. I
So
used to
you'll
do this thing in middle school. Whenever I'd have a stuffy nose, I do a fake nose blow. So I'd go like to the corner of the room, like you'd stand up and kind of like you get people's attention or whatever. So my buddies would see I'm going to blow my nose. I'd like turn, I'd put the tissue in front of my nose, but like not under it. And then I'd blow and it just snot would just rain down, dude. It was disgusting. But
Just
they
to be
loved
funny.
it. It was hilarious, dude. It was mucus everywhere. And it's like, dude, we're in the middle of the classroom. What are you doing? That was my sort of humor as a kid and still is to this day. But
Mucinex.
dude, our conversations are just like picking one word that might represent the general topic and throwing it out there and moving on.
You just run with it. It's
Yeah, what do we got
Tuesday,
today,
Pop.
dude?
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
All right. We missed yesterday. We've been in the shala-la-la-la-la-los, as Lady Gaga would say.
Blessed.
Just working on inching this business along, really. It's not even
Yeah.
that interesting. So I don't particularly want to talk about it, but you tell me what kind of threads you're feeling today.
Well, I think we were overconfident. I think it's kind of like, you know, the guys that retire and they're like, back in my day, it was so much harder and we crushed it. So like we could come back and just rip. We get back and we're like, damn, it's kind of hard to sell things. Especially when it's a sick product. It's just people move slow and they're like, ah. Oh, especially now. I heard like right around the holidays, no one's doing shit because they're just like, hey, it's the holidays. We're not trying to make any big decisions here. And then they push it off to the new year.
It's not even
it might be
that.
a
I
real
think
intro.
it's just for us, we're immediate guys, we're impulsive guys. So we're like, well, this is going to be a 48-hour sales cycle. But then the real world just comes and smacks you in the face. And it's like anything that costs $5,000, $10,000, like it's going to take a month. The sales cycle is a month.
Well, a couple things I'm learning because
we're
we're
going there.
so deep. We'll bring some more juice soon, but like, to my point on we're so deep in the editing game that like we'll see one edit and it's just like they nail it and we're like immediately we would hire this person. Like there's no need to do any more tests, any like interviews, any trials. It's just like this person's sick. We're hiring them to the team. We've done it so much that we can just do that because our gut knows it. But other people don't. So they'll like see a test edit and they're like, oh, that's interesting. Definitely looks really good, but like I can't tell based on their portfolio if they can do that consistently. And could we actually make these revisions to the test edit? We're like, no, it's a fucking test edit. Like this, it's a sample. Like you're tasting a sample. You don't change the product. And people like they're like do I like micromanage? Like do I give them exactly like the script and like each line what B-roll to put? And I'm like, no, we never give anything. And like that's like people don't even know that's possible. So it's just like weird.
Well, I think there's this huge part of the value equation that you kind of get with working at Clipped. But like there's this, and people have been saying this as well. It's like nobody knows how to work with creatives to get the best output.
Well, you can only really do it with good creatives, though. That's one thing, because you could basically, like, if you have someone really good, you don't have to micromanage at all. But if you have someone bad, you kind of do, because like if you just trust their taste, they're gonna give you shit. So either you like train them to have good taste, or you just have to micromanage everything forever.
I was gonna say, not the podcast putting me to sleep, Pop. No. Come on, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I'm just
I got a
gonna
haircut this weekend.
Oh,
talk about that.
I can't even tell.
No, okay.
What? Did they add hair? Because the sides are going over your ears.
Are they already?
A little bit.
No. Oh no. So, dude, the guy wasn't happy. He wasn't happy at all. So what happened?
Was this your new barber that you were referred to by a friend?
New barber, dude. Because what happened was, everyone knows I had my Korean barber that just gave me terrible Asian haircuts. Didn't work. Also, stupid expensive. And I went to like a slightly less stupid expensive dude. But he's like still $170. So I'm like, that's still too expensive for a fucking just trim my hair. I don't even.
And you're wondering how I can afford a cleaning lady.
But
I haven't cut the rat in a while.
Yeah, it looks like it too. And so our other friend, he's like, dude, you're out of your mind. Just go to my dude. He's like Dominican and he'll cut your hair for like $35. And I'm like, all right, I'll go to the Dominican. So I go to the Dominican dude, and like it's like a fine haircut, whatever. And I don't know. My friend was kind of mad because I like tipped him heavy. Like I basically doubled what he asked for, just because I wanted to make like a good first impression. But now my buddy's like, fuck, now he's anchored there, and now I'm gonna look like a cheap bastard. So that was a problem. But like the real problem is this dude takes off. Like right after my haircut, basically, he goes to the Dominican, and like he hasn't been seen since.
Okay.
He like randomly WhatsApp me because I'm like, dude, I have a wedding in a week, and you haven't been back in the States in like 5 weeks. Like I got to get my haircut. It's gonna look terrible. And I have to give a speech, which we'll talk about that. But basically, I'm like, dude, are you coming back because you got to cut my hair? And he's like, yeah, I'm coming back. And then he's like, actually, I'm not coming back. It's gonna be another week. And I'm like, I don't got a week, dude. He's like, well, maybe we can work it in. And I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. Then he sends me this like fucking 5-minute audio message in Spanish, and then like gospel. And I think he just like sent it to the wrong person, whatever. I don't know what's happening with him, but basically I had to go to some other guy. So my roommate, I was like, hey dude, where do you get your haircut? Like, let me just go there. And he gives me this like random like barber, just this like black dude with dreads and just smells of weed. And I'm like, dude, where?
Your roommate?
I know. I was surprised too.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this person's the exact opposite of that. But I go and like, because I don't know. I just like, I don't know like how to cut my hair. I don't know like what to tell them. And I never have.
No, same. And I actually wanted, this should be a thing because I think I saw it on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, but I want to go somewhere and have like a hair consultation. Like, can somebody sit down with me and be like, hey, buddy, this is how your hair grows. Why don't you try parting it this way? Because you got to go in the opposite way. It makes no sense. You have this type of like, I have like kinky curly hair. So like, why don't you I don't know what to do.
Right.
I know exactly not what to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, and it's not going to change. Like once you're dialed in, you're dialed in.
Right.
But I've just never been dialed in.
Dial me in.
So it's all over the place, really. And so I sit down and I'm asking this dude, I'm like, can you dial me in? And dude, he's not having any of it. I sit down and I'm like,
I want to roll. Can we roll your high and tight? Are we like, because that's part of the dial in equation. That was only like a month ago. You're still figuring it out.
It's been literally 2 decades of trying to figure it out. Haven't. We're getting closer, and then we get farther away. But so I go and I sit down at the chair, and this guy's like he's kind of like late to the thing. He's not super happy. He still smells like weed. And he's like, all right, dude, what do you want from your haircut?
Right.
And I'm like, I don't know. I got a wedding this week. Can you like
hit him with, what do you want from me?
Right.
What do you recommend? Well, I found it.
Dude.
Every time I look, it gets it gets higher and tighter.
I don't want to talk about that. No, dude.
Look
Put
how
that
high
away.
and tight, dude.
So we've been figuring it out.
It's
We've been figuring out.
growing.
Yeah, that's a weed, dude. Let me just get to the point of this cut because it's been a real sensitive topic for a long time now. We got to figure it out. And so I sit down. I'm like, I don't know. I got a wedding this week. Can you just like give me a trim? And he's like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm like, I don't know. Don't you know what the fucking trim is? Like, fucking trim it. And he's like, what do you normally like? What's the number you cut your hair? I'm like, I don't know. I just tell him like just bring it back like 3 weeks, whatever this is, like 3 weeks ago. And he's like, I don't know what that is. And I'm like, can you just look at how long my hair is and go back? And he couldn't do that. So he's like getting upset. And
As
he's
you're
like,
sitting in the chair and he's got weapons.
Right.
He's
He
got
literally
sharp
asked
scissors.
me, he's like, have you ever gotten your hair cut before? And I'm like, I'm like, dude, this is how you treat a new client. You just neg them. And it was mean, dude. It wasn't like a happy, like a joking thing. It was like, get out of my chair sort of vibe.
Well, and of course, like, dude, you know how long your hair would be if you'd never had a haircut before? You had one 4 weeks ago.
But he was just like, how come you don't know how to get your hair cut? Like, it's your fucking body. Figure it out.
I'm saying there's a bigger problem here. No one knows how to dial it in.
I'm like, then we finally got through it all. And I was like, yeah, I just want to trim, take it a couple weeks back. And I'm like, do you know what that is? And he's like, sure, I'll figure it out. And I'm like, I can show you pictures if you want. He's like, do you think you weren't clear enough? And I'm like, I don't know. You were just negging me, so I don't know if I was clear enough. You want to see the picture? He's like, no, I'll just do it. And I'm like, dude, where are we? So it was just like really tense the whole time because now this dude's like pissed off. I'm like, new client. It's like an $80.
I assume haircut. there was no talking during the haircut.
No, zero talking.
Yeah.
It was just like, he's like, I'm gonna start with a 5, and you tell me if you want to go lower. And I'm like, how about you tell me, dude? I don't know what I like. Like, look at my hair now. I look like a scrub. You think I know what I want? So it was just a mess. It was a mess. I got out of there, and I'm definitely not going back there. Hopefully my Dominican's back, but he's not even that good either. I'm just like, at least I told him like, just take it back a little bit, and he was like, all right, fucking, I'll figure something.
Oh, who did high and tight?
That was the expensive one, but that was kind of Crucero's fault because she asked for high and tight. She didn't know it'd be that high and that tight, but she did ask for that.
All right, so I think the takeaway here is
There's a business opportunity.
There's a business opportunity here, and it's in doing consultations.
It could be AI, dude. It could just be like you fucking FaceTime somebody, and you're like, oh, your head shape's like this.
I saw this guy on TikTok. He's this Asian guy. I think he has a pretty famous spot, maybe in New York City, and he does a consultation, and then he cuts their hair, and it's just stuff like, hey, dude, like your head is this shape, therefore, like it makes no sense to be high and tight at this point. Like, let's, and then the people look great. So,
right.
Business opportunity.
He gets mad at me, but I'm like, dude, you've probably cut 1,000 different people, like if not more.
Take it back is, I think, fairly common because at least any barber I've had, like, take it back and they can like, I can look at you and I can be like, your sides are like a 2, it's an inch longer on top. I mean, maybe I don't know. But anyway, they should be able to take it back. What other threads you got?
They could.
I got one. It's called the fucking taking the clocks back in the fall. The fucking worst. That's my thread.
Dude.
Don't mean to be
dude, we gotta get out of the business. The problem is, dude, when we're in the business, we spend 0 time on the pod.
On content. No, but my thread was, I get sad when it's 4 p.m. and it's dark outside. It's dark outside right now.
No, I know your point, but I'm saying like,
me
in terms of the value prop of the podcast,
me meandering through threads, yeah,
just 2 dudes bitching about the darkness, constant darkness everywhere.
I got a good one for you,
okay.
Because I was in a vulnerable state. So a couple things happened that all coincided into one amazing night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We'll see if I can get through this one. So I watched the movie Jiro Dreams of Sushi, which was a recommendation of Tim Ferriss. Amazing movie about this incredible sushi chef. He's like 90 years old. He's probably like 95 now. He has this Michelin-starred sushi place, Omakase Sushi, in Japan, which means like he's just serving you up one beautiful piece at a time. So I watched that and I'm inspired. I'm sushi guy now. Oh, I got the vat and the hat on my list too, but we can not get into that. Not today.
We're not going to get to that today. Ugh.
So then I'm listening to Elon Musk on the Joe Rogan pod, the Halloween episode. And like 2.5 hours in, Joe just offhandedly, I think they were talking about pizza or something, but Joe offhandedly is like, hey, dude, you ever been to Sushi by Scratch? Did you hear that?
No, I didn't finish that pod.
Oh, you didn't finish? Dude, it was a micro insertion.
But
and
you're sushi guy, so you picked it up.
Well, Elon's like, no. But I'm sushi guy. So I picked it right up. Because Joe's like, there's one in Texas. There's one in Beverly Hills. There's one in Chicago. And I'm like, Henry dreams of sushi.
And you got a girlfriend.
And I got a girlfriend who just got promoted. So I was like, it's time for an omakase sushi.
Nice.
The reason I wrote this down as a thread, and then I'll explain what happened at sushi, because I got the next reservation. Excuse me. The reason I wrote down this thread was because of the power of influence. Joe Rogan, because I'd been listening to him for 2.5 hours, he made like a 2-second insertion about this restaurant he likes, and I was just immediately like, I trust.
Right.
Trust, I'll go there. Did I spend $600 there? Yes, I did.
Nice.
It was, so we went. That's the punchline. We went and it was beautiful.
What
17,
a punch, dude.
17 1-2 punch, 17 course omakase. You sit down, it's just a table of 10 people. There's 3 sushi chefs. They're each serving like 3 or 4 people. Amazing sushi, amazing drink. Do I have the influence Joe Rogan has? No. But when we were there, everybody at the table was talking about it.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah, they were like,
yeah.
Someone else at the other end of the table was like, y'all know, like, Joe Rogan just plugged you last week on the pod. And they were like, yeah, like, apparently he, like, got this place off the ground because the original chef came to Austin, Texas, and he was from California. And Joe was like, hey, dude, you got to stay in Texas. If you stay in Texas, I will plug your sushi restaurant, and I'll just make sure you're booked out forever. And so that's what he did. And now go to Sushi by Scratch. And it was delicious and very expensive.
Yeah. I went to one of those. It was sick. You could have asked for a rec, but I'm not Joe Rogan. I think that's the thing. It's like when you have someone's trust like that, it's so cool because anything you can say, like Tim Ferriss recommends the movie or the documentary, you watch it. Now you watch Joe Rogan, he recommends the actual place to go to, you go to it. It's like just they're like
I'm spineless.
I don't even know. There's probably like but they're just like maybe a couple dozen people, like creators that you just blindly trust on everything. But then like you have these little issues here and there of like if it's like a Tom Brady FTX or something like that, then it like burns half your credibility to the ground. That's kind of like why a lot of people shit on guys that take like bad sponsors. I think there was like, what's the therapy one? There was
BetterHelp
online there. BetterHelp got some shit. I'm pretty sure. Like they're just a bunch of like kind of shady businesses that people promote, and like you don't want to like drag your brand down with it.
I was gonna say we did both have diarrhea the next day.
Oh,
so
whoa,
it's kind of what you're talking about. Had it been any worse, that would have brought their trust battery down.
I'm gonna get tea back one of these days. Just in the rut.
Fuck. Is that 3 episodes in a row that ended with in a rut?